Pope Francis has taken a major step to address worldwide clergy sex abuse. In addition, the head of the U.S. Bishops' Conference is in Rome and will meet with Pope Francis tomorrow to discuss a plan of action in reporting abuse and misconduct by bishops. Lauren Ashburn is reporting from the Vatican this week and brings us the latest. Lauren?
Wyatt, in a rare move, the Pope will convene the heads of bishops' conferences worldwide. This has happened only 3 times in 5 decades. And this meeting is on the theme of the protection of minors. It is set at the Vatican for February in 2019. There are 114 conferences of bishops and 21 Eastern Rite groups. This announcement was made immediately following the final meeting this morning of the Pope's Council of 9 Cardinals. And that was created in 2013 to advise him. No further details were released about this upcoming conference. Now, the question is whether bishops' accountability will be addressed. Let's look at the C9 Council. This is the Council of Cardinals. Only 6 of the 9 were in attendance, absent Cardinal George Pell, who has been given a leave of absence and is on trial for sexual abuse charges in Australia. He denies those charges. Cardinal Francisco Errázuriz of Chile is defending himself from charges by victims that he played a central role in covering up for an abusive priest. Now, Cardinal Laurent Passigna of the Congo also did not attend. And one cardinal who did attend, Cardinal Oscar Rodriguez Maradiaga of Honduras. And he is under fire for having disregarded or having appeared to have disregarded evidence of homosexual misconduct by his former auxiliary bishop. So in today's off-camera press briefing, we asked whether or not the Pope would change the composition of the council by appointing different cardinals. And we were told that the list of cardinals attending the next meeting for the C9 in December will remain the same.
Lauren, why wait until February to have the meeting about the protection of minors?
There are those here who are criticizing the fact that it is 6 months away. Sources at the Vatican tell me, however, that there is a feeling among the Curia that Americans want answers within the next news cycle, and that is not possible. Plus, the Synod on Youth is going to be here at the Vatican next month, and that brings together bishops from all over the world. There have been calls to cancel that synod and replace it with what is being called an extraordinary synod on sex abuse. That will not happen.
Lauren, what can you tell us about the Archdiocese of Washington's Cardinal Donald Wuerl, who is a confidant of Pope Francis?
Cardinal Wuerl will be heading right here to Rome again in the near future, he says, to meet with Pope Francis to discuss his resignation. He was here 2 weeks ago when the Pope asked him to discern his future with his brother priests. Wuerl has been implicated in the Pennsylvania grand jury report released last month, and it found more than 1,000 victims had been abused by more than 300 priests over the last 70 years. Now, Wuerl served as Bishop of Pittsburgh from 1988 to 2006. In his letter to his brother priests, he writes, "It was clear that some decision, sooner rather than later on my part, is an essential aspect so that this archdiocesan church we all love can move forward." He says he will meet in the very near future with the Holy Father about the resignation he presented 3 years ago. Canon law, remember, requires a resignation when any bishop turns 75. At the time, it was not accepted. And several months ago, Cardinal Wuerl told me that the Holy Father had asked him then to stay in Washington until 2022. He's the chairman of the Papal Foundation, Wyatt, a member of the Congregation of Bishops. The Congregation of Bishops proposes names for future bishops. And he's a member, this is important, of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. That group oversees questions of faith, heresy, and disciplinary measures for priests. This includes those accused of sexual abuse. Because of Wuerl's involvement with these groups, it calls into question whether or not he could continue to serve, because these congregations address the very issues for which he is being criticized. Wyatt, I spoke to an official at the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith yesterday and asked how many sexual abuse cases the office is handling. They cited the pontifical secret, and they told me they could not reveal the number. However, They did tell me there are 14 officials in this congregation in the disciplinary section worldwide, and that the majority of the cases that congregation handles are sex abuse cases.
Lauren, what do you know about the Pope's meeting with U.S. bishops tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the Pope is going to meet with 4 American representatives, and here's who they are. The president of the Bishops' Conference, Cardinal Daniel DiNardo. Cardinal Sean O'Malley, who heads the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors, and Archbishop Jose Gomez of Los Angeles, Monsignor Brian Bransfield, the Secretary General of the USCCB, the Bishops' Conference. He will also be here. And the leaders of the Bishops' Conference usually meet once a year with the Pope. However, on August 16th, Cardinal DiNardo asked the Pope for a meeting. He wanted to discuss, quote, how the grave moral failings of a brother bishop could have been tolerated for so long and proven no impediment to his advancement. Now, he's talking about Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, who resigned from the College of Cardinals. Meanwhile, we have confirmed that Cardinal Blaise Cupich of Chicago has called a closed-door meeting of his priests tonight to discuss the current crisis facing the church. All of the priests in the Archdiocese are invited. It's being called an open discussion and will be held at Mundelein Seminary.
Lauren, switching gears, I understand that you had the opportunity to meet the Pope today.
I did. After his weekly general audience, he spoke about the need to rest on Sundays, the third commandment. I did have the opportunity to greet the Pope. I told him I was praying for him, and he said, good, I need a lot.
Sounds like a very special moment. Our Lauren Ashburn reporting from Rome. Thanks so much.